So, hey guys, Chauzu here. So, time for a stream. I was planning to do a ship gacha stream, but since we're getting a new Grand Voyage tomorrow, not much point doing that in case I need another ship. The whole reason I was doing a ship gacha stream in the first place because I assumed that by the time we're getting a new Grand Voyage, I'd have enough Super Cola for another ship. But this Grand Voyage come literally out of the blue. I am happy, but like of all months to have a Grand Voyage, this is like the only month I'd prefer to not have one due to Vol Cruise, but it is what it is. I'll never say no to a Grand Voyage. Anyway, while we wait people to join, let's do some PvP. I've been testing this team. I'll upload a video today, but it doesn't have the same subs. I do think this is the best I can build right now for slashers. So yeah, let's play for a bit. Once I get this game going, I'm going to advertise the stream a bit. Okay, that's the prep work done. Hello there, Alan. I'm fine. Short day at work, so nothing to complain about there. Do you think it's worth putting SOC 150 minus 130? It's definitely worth it. The question is if you want to do it. My SOC, as you can see, is 120 with limb break expansion. And in testing, there are so many times where I just barely miss a KO. And it's getting pretty annoying. So I'm tempted to get into 130 and see if that makes a difference. I don't think I'll get it in level 150 though. Since I will be pulling dupes of him in the future as well. So I prefer them not being useless. But yeah. Let's start with 130 at least. Like, it also depends about World Cruise. Like, the Rumble World Cruise starts on Friday. We have to see how the global player base reacts. Like, global usually beats JP in like Super PvP, thanks to us doing 3 teams. But we never really do that for normal PvP. And we struggle a bit last World Cruise in PvP, but I hope it goes different this time. Like, if Global just colludes well enough, we will easily defeat JP in World Cruise in Pyro Rumble. Treasure map, gonna be rough. JP usually wins those. Will be hard to compete with JP in Treasure map in general. But then we end with Kisuna, and if JP continues to ignore 3-star Kisuna, which is what I'm expecting they do. It's classic JP to ignore stuff like that. Then JP is going to have no chance in Kisuna. So it's going to be interesting. And yeah, your Team Nami, and as said in the stream description, I'm Team Robin once again. We can take a look here at my name. Not sure where the best... Oh, the best is probably go to the event and find myself. Let's just pick a quest. But yeah, I was in Robin last year as well. And I managed to finish second. And just like last year, Team Robin doesn't really stand out in terms of the players on the team. Can you see mine here? No, not the titles. Shame. But I can go here somewhere, I think. It's the profile, I think. Not profile, it's title. That's it. But yeah, there you see my title. World Cruise 2023 Robin Team Second. So yeah, these are incredibly rare. I don't see many people having these. So yeah, I look forward to adding World Cruise 2024 Robin Team again. And we'll see what rank. I definitely plan to get top 10. And I'll be shocked if I don't get top 10. But yeah, we'll talk more World Cruise later. And yeah, JP long times are good. And there's just a lot more hard grinding JP players in general. But yeah, Global does punch above its weight in terms of JP. I really tried a lot of Slasher versus Quick. Doesn't feel like the best matchup, but we can try. Like, this is probably one of the more annoying feeling ones, since both are very fast. And Quick should be bulkier, but of course Slasher doesn't really care about bulk anymore. And yeah, it's good to see you, Jefferson. Welcome. Coming days should probably be quite a few streams. Like, I'm at my summer house now, and today I'm planning to sleep here for the first time of the year basically. Not of the year, but for a long time. So I'm going to take the time to clean properly, change sheets, all of that. And then go up very early tomorrow for Grand Voyage. So I'll do a Grand Voyage stream when it debuts until I get to work. Then I'll spend all of the day after work doing Grand Voyage team, since after that is World Cruise and I can't do any Grand Voyage until it's over. And yeah, the plan then is to sleep here one more day, go up for the start of World Cruise, and stream some World Cruise start, and probably stream some World Cruise after work as well. So yeah, coming days going to be a lot of content. Then for the rest of the weekend, probably nothing. Basically, I'm just going to play Pyro Rumble. And then after Pyro Rumble is done, I have to start prepping for the coming work week. Hello there, Francisco Baez. Welcome. Doing a bit of PvP before we start hyping up the new Grand Voyage. I'm still shocked we're getting a Grand Voyage at all. We basically never get a Grand Voyage during normal PvP. So I have no idea why they decided that, yes, this PvP season, this is when we do a Grand Voyage, when it's World Cruise. Like, such a mind-boggling decision, but it's always better to get a GV than to not get a GV, so it's not like I'm upset, it's just typical, basically. And yeah, let's do these 3 PvP games and then we'll talk Grand Voyage. We have got some Grand Voyage info though, so I'm going to try and collect that so we can look at it later. I won't bring it up on stream, I think. I'll just read it out, but I'll link it in the chat for those interested. It was linked in the Reddit Discord server, I think, so yeah. Grand Voyage versus Vivi. We do have mechanics, but if you're aware about how Grand Voyage data mine works, basically we only get the level 1 Grand Voyage data mine. So yeah, we have no idea what awaits with level 5. But my plan for this stream is to first speculate a bit about what team they want us to use for level 5. And then to build a pretty accessible level 1 team. So we'll start with level 1. When the Grand Voyage goes live, I'll upload that team ASAP. And then we move straight to level 5 and try and find out the level 5 team tomorrow. Sadly, like, last Grand Voyage was super fun because I had like 6 hours to grind and find out. With my new work schedule at work, I only have like 3.5 hours at most. So it's not really feasible to figure out a level 5 team in that small amount of time, usually. But what can you do? I probably won't get first this time with the team, but yeah. Francisco says, do you think the new Grand Voyage is gonna be really tough? We'll see, like the last few ones have been, but I hope that they don't do that every time. It gets a bit boring. Jefferson says, is Cracker better than K-Dad on the new PvP team? I'd say most think that. Like, Slasher does appreciate the speed, really. And from what I've seen, with this amount of CT up, usually the specials are ready at a good time as well. And that's almost more important than the amount of speed you actually have on the team. Like, it doesn't matter if you have, like, the team I tested 3 CT up units with Kizaru when they are ready on the wrong time, so they don't launch their specials when they're ready. And yeah, I feel like with these units it usually works out pretty well. Another thing I like with this team is the fact that I'm able to do the 4-inch units with a straw hat, and the straw hat not being useless. Like, I got Usopp from the PvP Sugo when I pulled for dupes for S-Hawk, and he's actually a great final unit because he can do CT to 2 units, pretty substantial. And yeah, that's proven to be a bit helpful sometimes, so it's not as good as Brook, but it's definitely not useless, so yeah, pretty clutch. Hello there, Kaito and Boomik. We have a Japanese name who asks, is the new Voyage need to use Quick Fighter? Yes. Level 5. Level 5 is Quick Fighter and 300 costs max. At least from what I know, there might be more. I'm not sure if you need a Luffy or anything. Tell me about Kusan Clash. Not sure what you mean. Do you mean the really old one? Basically anything you use will work for that. Let's try this. I shouldn't do this, but let's have some fun for the stream. Like, this is not a guaranteed win. Like, this game usually is about who goes first. Is it Nami, Karina, and Boa, or is it S-Hawk and Roger Viper? Like, if Slasher goes first, they win. If Free Spirit goes first, they probably win, but Slasher still has that clutch factor. I'm not sure what you mean with new Kusan Clash. I might be dumb, but like, we don't get clashes barely ever. So yeah, not sure what you mean by that. Okay, let's see what were the level 5 stuff for Grand Voyage. I saw it posted somewhere. Okay, it was Forrest who posted it. Let's see if I can post it in chat as well. Okay, from what my understanding is... It looks like this. Level 3 is clear with 6 quick units. Level 4 seems like they add 6 fighter and 300 cost. It's weird that they add a cost in level 4, but sure. And then level 5, they add the required Luffy, as well as beating in 6 turns. Okay, we won. I didn't watch anything, but it's cool that Slasher actually can beat this incredibly awful team somewhat reliably. Like, we lost some units, but the bench is really good. So that's cool. Anyway, let's look at some Vivi Grand Voyage now. It's very interesting that they do a cost Grand Voyage. Only the second one. First one made sense with Buggy. But yeah, Grand Voyage. Let's see here. It is called Miss Wednesday, but I will say Vivi. See, it's interesting to get another quick Grand Voyage. The latest one was also quick. And funnily enough, the one before that was also a Luffy fighter one. So there's some common themes we're used to here. Like Logtown, first we had Smoker, which was Sai and fighter and Luffy. Then we had the Luffy 3, which was quick and striker. And now we have both quick and fighter and Luffy. So 3 commonly recurring themes, but Quick Fighter is new at least, so it's pretty exciting. So let's just take a look what Luffy units we can even use for this. Quick Fighter. Luffy. And as you see, there's quite a few options. Yeah. The treasure map Luffy is an option. We also have, which I think they built this content for this unit. This is probably the captain they want you to use. I have this one at level 4, but I also have an evolved one, so I'm probably going to unevolve that one since it's Limbrick expanded. So let's see. Add this one. Here we go. It's the unevolved V1 Snake Man. I'm going to I think I have him Limbrick expanded. Yes. So I'm going to bring him down for now. For tomorrow. I'm pretty sure they want us to use this one as a captain. Remove strength again. Let's buff him up with stats. There we go. I need to double check exactly how he worked. Like, going to be... It could be a very interesting Grand Voyage if they build it around this Luffy's captain ability, since you can swap gear manually and you have to obtain recovery orbs. Let me double check the doc. I'll post it in chat as well with mechanics, and reminder again that we're talking level 1 mechanics here. Okay, and we can see at level 1, for 8 turns, recovery slot healing amount up. Oh, that's interesting. So, in stage 1, we take damage right away. Slot change to unfavorable, locked for 3 turns. Convert healing effects to damage, except for recovery stamina slots. Does that work? I'm trying to think what... We have so many weird recovery mechanics. Do we really have one where you punish all healing except for recovery orbs? I know we have some mechanics where you take damage if you consume recovery orbs. I know about that. But the other mechanic, as far as I know, is that you take all damage. There's no exception for recovery orbs, so it might be that that's like a mistake in the text. It sounds weird at least, but yeah, it's pretty funny. So basically they make it so you heal more, but healing more is bad. It means you take more damage, so pretty fun that way. That's my take at least. Stage 2. 11 turns, 2 times color affinity. That's really good, right? Stage 3, we have special reverse. Locked special turn. 98 turns immunity. Blah, blah, blah. If you're below 80% HP, which is very probable since we're taking a lot of damage turn 1. Recovery bind, ship bind, immunity. Well, we already had the immunity, so. I wonder if this is like 2 different scenarios. So the first one is if you're not below 80%, and the other one is if you're below 80%. Or if you get both in that case, because it's weird that they bring up immunity 2 times in the text. On death, full HP recovery, 50,000 damage and retreat. So there's a lot of damage spam here. I think that this Luffy, when he changes form, that there is a form where he can resist a lot of damage. Not sure if it's feasible to get into that form for stage 3 though. Battle 4. 9 turns bind, and this Luffy removes bind with his special, I think. Yeah, he reduces bind by 6 turns. Then there's empty strength dex, quickside in G. All orbs change to empty. 1 turns lock slots. Again, the thing about taking damage except for recovery Samla. 5 turns damage reduction and 6 turns death up. I think this Luffy does death up as well, yes. But you do need some help with the damage reduction. I think that's a damage threshold, actually damage over 1009% reduction. That sounds like a threshold. It might be Red Rock, but you have to admit that it looks very much designed for this unit too, so it might be that they want you to use both these Luffy. I wouldn't rule that out, but stage 4 sounds perfect for this Luffy. Since crewmates get binded, you have the def up. Like, it sounds very much for this one, but indeed, that one turn of CD reverse works for the Super Sugo Luffy, but special reverse also works for Luffy Ace. It will be super fun for this GV if we actually had options to use a lot of different units. It's been a while since we had that. On death, more damage again. There's so much damage spam here. Jeez. And like, if we're thinking about the Super Sugo Luffy, as far as I know, he does nothing to help with damage. I think this Luffy can help with damage. We need to go into a battle and take a look at his mechanics a bit. Get that pop-up. Oops. Just put some randos here and go into a battle. Oops. Okay, let's just read exactly how his captain ability works. Like, I've used him since his level limit break, but it was a long time ago, so I've forgotten most of it. It's a very cool captain ability though. There we go. And I think there's a special one for level limit break. There we go. After level limit break. Gear 2. 4.5 times attack, 1.4 times HP. Strength quick sigh. Gear 3 down. I'm interested in when we can get the damage reduction. I think it's Tankman, right? Yeah, Tankman reduces damage taken by 50%, so that's a lot. But Tankman is not easy to get into. Yeah, hit that perfect because you recover for the gauge to go up. And you can switch to gear 4 if it's max. Launch his special to activate Tankman form if your crew uses 10 or more recovery orbs during the quest. I think there's some orb block in the beginning, wasn't there? Yes, you get an orb block right away. They also changed Lost Town Fairball. Maybe they want somehow to change orbs to recovery. Because it says we won't take damage from healing with recovery orbs. It also says we'll be low HP. It says we will take more damage later, so they want us to heal up. So I assume they want us to get recovery orbs here, build up for Tankman, and then we can abuse Tankman for survival later. That's that's my take on it. At least we want at least one of this Luffy unit and become Tankman for later. Which would be super cool. Like, Tankman has basically seen no use in modern OPTC, so it would be fun if they build a content for it. One other thing that is funny with the damage thing is that if that's the main annoyance, it might be possible to build a wide variety of teams that just abuse resilience sockets. So might be able to build some good team that needs like 2 resilience procs, or at least hopefully just 1, but maybe 2 can make some first crazy stuff. So in that way, I think that they might be able to become a lot of teams. Let me see what other people have said here. A support on Luffy maybe, yeah, they could want support, but like with all of the damage you take, with all of the recovery stuff, and Tankman being built around recovery orbs, like I just don't see a reality where this is not built for this unit. It doesn't mean it has to be 2 of him. I hope it's not 2 of him, that would be very boring. It would be super fun if we can hybrid up this Luffy with other quick fighters, like Super Sugo Luffy, like Luffy Ace, like Treasure Map Luffy. But yeah, limited cost is interesting and could offer some more team building, hopefully. Dirty Para says, Yo Shao, is it smart to go all in on the attack monument and ignore the HP one for stuff like Voyage, etc.? Basically, we can leave this one now and go to the menu. You can see what I've done with my stats. And that's what I probably recommend for others to do. So as you see, I got attack max, the others at 190. And honestly, what I did was get everything to 180. Then I went to 200 with attack, the others to 190. And now I'm just farming until I can get 1 to 200. And like I see no reason to keep upgrading all the time. Like we might get new islands eventually, so want to have the cotton candy if that happens. Or not the cotton candy, but the island currency. Luffy and Ace resist reverse and reduce bind by 6 turns. Yeah, I'd be fine if Luffy Ace are good. But I want to again point out all of that damage you're expected to take all the time. Like, it just screams Tankman to me. But yeah, let's see some other captains that are quick fighter. Like what could potentially be on offer here. Except for Luffy's. As you see here, we have one incredible unit that is available. And I will be shocked if it's literally impossible to build a team without Zoro Sanji. Like, this unit is so cracked and strong. So it feels like it should be possible to make something with them, at least with 1 resilience pocket. So yeah, thanks to Sanji for being fighter and quick, so we can make use of them. So that could be really exciting. Like, they're definitely the best unit booster available for this. We have some other interesting ones. They maybe want us to use Marco for that full heal. I doubt they'll want us to use Zephyr. Oden Toki available, but I also don't think they want us to use that. Carrot is very interesting. Depending on the mechanics later, could jump up as captain mid-quest to ignore defensive effects. Katakuri is very interesting for a content with taking a lot of damage since he heals it back. He's good at survival, but sadly he's a mono powerhouse captain. Like, sure, he boosts all classes but only by 3.75 times, so probably won't see use. Will have been fun otherwise to try and make him work. See, I guess those are the main ones. Like, we really don't have a lot of great options here. Hello there, Abyssal. Sorry. Welcome. Do we have anyone with 600 plus CC? Yeah, a handful on global, quite a few on JP. But yeah, we do have some really good Luffy units. Let's just double check the others. I also want to finish reading what the content does. I didn't get to the final stage. Final stage, A turns the spear for the top right. Okay. Strength X quick side in tandem slots to super block. How do they want us to handle super block? 5 turn special bind, 5 turn paralysis. Like, in terms of special bind, we have this Luffy. He can reduce special bind with his super. For example, if you use him as captain. He's special and paralysis, but we have to use him a turn early if we want to use him to block super block orbs. Like, we need some unchangeable orb to block super block. I don't feel like it's that Luffy. But like, what else is there? Like Zephyr, he can do super bomb. But he can only change the super bomb with his super class. And he's only a shooter captain, so that's not gonna happen. Do we have anything else that can give us unchangeable orbs? The treasure map Luffy we looked at gives it to top row and bottom row. Like, there's basically no way to remove super blocks. You have to preemptively block it. But like, there's not many rare recruits who can handle that. Is it only that treasure map Luffy? Because in that case, he's basically forced to be used. We have this Luffy as well. Like, he has a final tap that changes his orb to Wano. But I'm pretty sure that won't work with super block. Otherwise, this Luffy, of course, he also has recovery orb mechanics, which is nice. And a cool special. A cool thing with this Luffy special is that you have the potential of getting double special, which is definitely interesting. So it would be cool if we could make use of him for this content. But right now I'm still stuck on that, like, what do they want us to do with the super blocks? Orbs are locked from stage 4. Let me see. Oh, they don't change recovery orbs. That makes sense. Changed. Yeah, that's true. Toski does. They don't change recovery orbs. Okay, it makes a lot more sense then. Yeah. So they want us to lock the recovery orbs on stage 4. Interesting. So, how do they want you to get those orbs then? Because the way I'm looking at it, we're using this Luffy stage 4. He handles everything except for orb manip and damage threshold. But what handles the damage threshold then? I kind of doubt it's any of these. Can it be this Sanji? Surely not. Wow. Is it actually made for this Sanji? He gives you the recovery orbs that are locked. We also remove the damage threshold. Luffy handles the rest. We're good for final stage. Have they actually built this for this Sanji? Like, he's available now in the shop. So that could actually be pretty funny if they did it like that. I should probably invest in him for tomorrow since he might see some use. But yeah, that's pretty funny. Like in the exchange here. He should be available. Probably past him. Yeah, there he is. Very interesting. And yeah, he's happy to have you here, Toadski. I saw that you were in the Nami team. Good luck with that, even if I imagine you don't care as much as me about that event. But yeah, we have 2 stages built. Like, we're only looking at level 1 mechanics again. So this isn't going to be for everything. But also for being level 1 mechanics, this is pretty hard. But as far as I know, we've never been able to data mine more than level 1. But I will say that as far as level 1 mechanics goes, I've never seen them be this hard. This is pretty hard, level 1. But yeah, we'll try and make something without just quick fighters. Like, they want you to use fighters, but that also means you can run like Gear 5 Luffy, for example. Cool work. Yeah, looks like an interesting Grand Voyage. How do you see your team for World Cruise? Let me show you. You go to the notice. You go to World Cruise. You press the button. Then when you get the team, you press this one. And as you can see, I'm on Team Robin. So that's how you check your team. And teams does matter. Like, there is a team competition in World Cruise. But that doesn't really matter. What's important is the battle in the team. And of course, like, if you're going for as high as possible, like me, then the less prominent players you have there, the better. And I was in Robin last year too, so I'm in Robin 2 years in a row. And I honestly don't mind. I prefer Robin over something like Luffy. But most importantly, I care about who the other people on the team are. And it looks pretty manageable so far. Like, as I talked about before in the stream, I care mostly about the global opponents, because if we go back to the previous screen, you will see that we have a multiplier again. So Pyro Rumble gives 1 times points. Treasure Map gives 2 times points. And Kisuna 3 times points. That means that basically if you do super well in Kisuna, you are super likely to win. Like, I got first in Kisuna and got like 6th or 7th in PvP. I didn't get top 10 in Treasure Map, but I still almost finished first within 5 points. So Kisuna sways it a lot. And the thing is that JP, so far, and if I know how the JP players work, they refuse to do the 3-star strat for Kisuna. And if JP doesn't do the 3-star strat, they're not going to finish in top 5. Like, I'm willing to bet that if JP just refuse to do 3-star, they won't finish top 5 in any of these. So yeah, will be pretty funny, but yeah, like, it's all about maximizing your chances, and if JP players doesn't want to do that, like, that's on them. Like, I don't feel bad for them. Who won last year? We had 5 winners last year. There is a doc somewhere. I know that the winner in mine was a Japanese dude, I think. Did really well in Treasure Map. And PvP did a lot worse in Kisuna, but still managed to get a top 10 something to clutch it out. I've told this story before, but if a fellow global player helped me and played one more PvP game, I could have finished first, but he refused to do it. So let's just say that I've cut ties with that person. Not that I had much ties with that person beforehand. But yeah, that was very sad. Who do you think will be the main character for Givi? First, I just want to showcase for those who haven't seen my beautiful second place Robin title. Like, this is my by far most treasured title. Like, I don't really care about titles. None of the modes I care about in general give titles, like Treasure Map, for example. He's basically just Treasure Map I've cared about in general. They don't give titles, it's just Blitz and stuff. And I don't really often do well in Blitz. I did pretty well in that specific Pudding Blitz, that's why I have it. But I do plan to replace that with World Cruise 2024. As long as I get a top 10, like if I don't finish top 10, then we're just going to pretend it didn't happen. But I see no reality where I don't get top 10. Like, I have a lot of pots. And with the value Kisuna has, a lot of pots is a lot of power. So 129 pots, going to be more than that when we have the gem deals. I'm going to have 0 pots after this Kisuna, and I'm going to make maximum use of them. So if 3-star strats still works, these pots are going to be worth basically over 1,000 runs. And that might sound a lot, but for this World Cruise Kisuna, I'm not going to be the only one who does over 1,000 runs. I assure you that on global. And basically 1,000 runs on 3-star is worth as much as like you have to do almost as many stars on the hardest difficulty. Like 3-star is really slow in the beginning in points, but once you hit the max damage, every 3-star rounds is worth as much as a 10-star round. It's just a lot faster, a lot easier to do max damage. Like Stump even did a 1-for-all team for 3-star, which was really cool. I have to revisit that team. And we'll see if I can make something else with the new batch and stuff. Yeah, it's going to be rough, but World Cruise is just once per year, so I'm gonna do it. Like, it sucks that I have to work more than I expected, so it's gonna be a grind, but since it is World Cruise, I'm going to put away a lot of stuff I usually do. Like, I try and do for every treasure map, showcase my accessible team, stuff like that. For Kisuna, I try to make teams for you guys. For World Cruise only, nothing of that. It's just going to be my personal grind for this event. This is like the only event I really care about in the game, the World Cruise. So yeah, I'm super excited. Like, it's like the most fun event of the year for me personally. Like, it's the only event that is big that cares about solo performance. None of these alliance memes, like I like to see them. Like I said it before, like if I could decide, we'd scrap the alliance thing altogether. I know a lot of people like them, but for me this is a single player game, and it sucks that so much focus is on the alliance aspect that I have basically no interest in. I am dedicated, but I do get more credit than I deserve. It's partly like I try and build up myself to be more special, whatever, than I actually am. Like, I do stand by that if we look at a 5-year period, I'm definitely like a top 20 player on global in achievements and stuff. But like, most people know that it's going to be rough for me to win basically anything. But yeah, I'm still managing to squeak out performances that keep me relevant, and that does feel good. Yeah, need to use them. Not a lot, but yeah, I'm going to do it. We could do it now actually, since I'm just sitting here anyway. It works though. It works because no other content creator cares about competitiveness, which is good for me, since it means I fill up a niche. And basically, like, sure, we're not that many dedicated players, even if global has a lot of them, but I'm pretty confident that even if the number of super competitive players are low, the number of people who are interested in the competitive aspect is a bit more. Like, not enough for, say, Tootski to cover it and a lot of people to care, but Definitely enough for someone like me to use it as a way to get more interest and engagement, whatever. Yes, Dam does grind. He's more into the alliance aspect, but yeah, sure, I often see him like around top 100 in treasure map and such, so that's perfectly reasonable. This World Cruise treasure map is going to be a nightmare. And sadly, it looks like I'm facing the same fate I did last year, when I couldn't even finish top 10 in Robin's treasure map. And if I just finish top 10 there, I'll get first, but treasure map is so hard when you have a job. that's just a fact. But yeah, it's nice that that some people do appreciate that. But yeah, let's get back to Grand Voyage. So getting top 5 of this treasure map without boost will probably be impossible. No, it will be possible, but it will be a lot of work for sure. Like, no booster is such a broad thing. Like, I did no booster for a few months around Christmas. You might remember that. But it didn't feel like that because my box was in such a great shape after the anniversary and the Gear 5 debut, so I still had a lot of good boosted legends as well as treasure map legends. So that's also no boost. Like, I'm not pulling, but I can still make great teams. But we also have no boost and have literally nothing. Like, that's vast difference. Like, we have here full batch around here. Then we have no boost, but you have a ton of great units. And then here we have like no boost, no good units, anything. Like, it's such a broad spectrum in terms of treasure map. So of course, if you are with no good units, like you have not a lot of treasure map legends, you don't have a lot of New Year units, stuff like that, yeah, it's going to be hell. But if you have quite a few treasure map legends, you pull on New Year, got those, like, you're probably going to be able to build some pretty good teams anyway and get some decent points. My hair here is annoying me. During the Easter break, I'm definitely getting a haircut. It's overdue. But yeah, let's look at the Grand Voyage again, final stage, because now we know this Luffy and this Sanji stage 4 will set up the orbs and handle all of the debuffs. And final stage, we have that the spear for top right. It's weird that it's just top right. Could it be that they want you to use Luffy Ace as captain? Question mark. I think they removed the spear with their swap. Let's see. Yeah, it does remove the spear. So in that case, you don't need to use a special. They also handle the special reverse earlier. What's the more mechanics? We have the super block thing, but it doesn't matter. We have recovery warps. Special bind and paralysis. Do they help with that? I guess one weird thing with using this one is the fact that their special doesn't help much outside of damage. Then there's special bind and paralysis. And I remember hearing that people thought that Gordon was going to be good for that, which is pretty hilarious. Could be Robin, but she just removes 4 turns. It's just super sad. Didn't realize that Xin Zhao could also work. He even gives you a chain boost and damage reduction, but there's no damage final stage apparently. Okay. That's stage 3. Like, stage 3 is the main weird one since it's split up in mechanics. We have the special reverse, and then below 80% there's different mechanics. And as said, I'm not sure what it is. Is it one is for above 80%, the other is below? Or is it that if we're below 80% we get both? That's something we just have to test when the content goes live. Oh yeah, it's important to note that we do have that color affinity for 11 turns. Like, that's a big color affinity for free. It's very cool. It also means we can rule out any color affinity booster, basically. But Gordon doesn't do any special, right? I think it's base attack boost, which is whatever. He does remove the spear. So if we count him for the spear, we don't have to care about Luffy Ace. So I do think that for my first team, I will use Gordon, since it's basically perfect. I will also probably use the Sanji, maybe, like, we'll see. I'm going to try and build a level 1 team at least, and then we'll see. Grand Voyage is going live tonight, yes. And yeah, I have always liked that Jin Jiao unit, he's fine. So let's try and build a level 1 team. I don't want to use this Luffy for level 1, for sure. I do think that Sanji is pretty good though, and he is a free unit if you buy him. There is that special reverse, but do I want to think about that? First, we need to decide some unit that is fighter that can help with recovery orbs. And since this is low level, we're talking really low level, I wonder if we can get away with Bonnie. And I'm not talking about the recent Bonnie, I'm talking about a very common Bonnie. We're talking the V1 Bonnie. Because she is... sure, she's mainly int, but she boosts all colors. If you hit with color affinity, you're guaranteed to get recovery. Would be good to pair up with someone who consumes recovery on perfect. Something like Super Sugo Luffy, which I'll probably be doing. So something like that for level 1. This Luffy as sub. With him, we're guaranteed to get recovery orbs from Bonnie. When we hit perfects, we'll heal with Luffy. We also has his super, which we can use for stage 3 for the special reverse. Might not even have to care about the ship bind, but I think this Sanji has ship bind. Do you see that knowledge? I call it. This just further emphasizes that maybe they want us to use this Sanji. I think it's hilarious if they want us to use this Sanji. And the cool thing with this Sanji is that if we can even potentially use the Nami. But I think it was full immunity on stage 4. It doesn't say anything about that. So they maybe just want us to do this. Apply status effect, death down. Nami. So we do a death down conditional for the Sanji. I need to level this Sanji. Do I give him level limit break mats? I might do that. So reduces threshold, changes empty and favorable to recovery. Yeah, like as I say, he just sounds perfect for stage 4. But for stage 4, we need to think about the bind then and the def up. No, we don't have to care about the def up because of Sanji. That's true. But maybe they don't want us to use the tank man then. But we still have all of that damage to tank, so I'm not sure. Yeah, this is a very interesting Grand Voyage. And we're just looking at level 1 mechanics. Yeah, they might add some Dex enemies, but I kind of doubt it. Like they could do that, and that might be another thing in favor of Luffy Ace. Since, of course, we have the Ace who is strength and can hit Dex units, and then you can take advantage of the color affinity. So it might be that they really want us to use them. I won't rule it out. Hello, Lyric. Yes, it's Quick Fighter. I posted the mechanics a bit above. Let's see if I can scroll up. Here are the mechanics. Let's see if that's good enough. Almost. There are the mechanics. Level 3, you need 6 quick. Level 4, 6 quick, 6 fighter, and 300 cost. That makes me curious, like, what is 300 cost? Like, I have no knowledge of that. I think Sanji is lower cost. Let's see if I call it again. Is it 20? It might be 30 like usual, but is it 20? No, it's 30. Okay, that's nothing special. But I do know that 300 cost means we do require some rare recruits, which is nothing weird for Grand Voyage. Like, if we add 2 legends here, just whatever legends, we're at 310 cost. And then we have to also factor in the friend captain. So if we take a rare recruit here, something like this, we go down to 275. Wow, we need very low cost. We need another rare recruit, right? Like Bellamy. Wow. The thing that sucks with this, look at the cost now. 240. And then you're like, yeah, we can put one more legend. Like Bonnie, for example, she's 55 cost. But check this out. $65 cost. So a team like this will be 305 and too much. Oh wait, let me remove Nami. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. No, support should not be cost, that's true. I added the support into it. Let's look again now. Yeah, I thought that was a bit weird. But supports do not count. Yeah, support matters here, but not otherwise. So yeah, let's take a look again now without the support. If we add legends now. Let me not add 6+ legends, let's add normal legends. Okay, so this is 225, so this will be fine. It means we can add a 6+ to it, and it becomes 290. It means we can even have 2 more 6+, so it's pretty fine. Okay. Support counts toward cost, but not in the Grand Voyage cost. It even says that in the picture I showed up here, or here. Here it says within 300 cost, including friend captain, excluding support characters. So yeah, support is not needed. So support counts on this screen, but it's not this cost they look at. Let's take some examples because we have cost restricted content before in Grand Voyage. Let's do some Grand Voyage Luffy 1. Let's just pick some units. Boom, 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 boom. Go to Grand Voyage. There, not... Yeah, it's Luffy. So this is also cost, so when you go into it, you will see they say that we can't complete it. Well, we don't have a buggy here, we should probably put in a buggy, because we're not beating the buggy mission. So yeah, this is why I have so incredibly many buggy units, and this is all due to cost. Sort... So here you have their cost. There's even lower int-driven buggy, but I haven't got them yet. So yeah, we can pick the 11 here. Try again. Now the cost is 271, but we also have the friend captains to worry about. Let's just see what we need as total cost for this one. This one is even more steep, 240 cost. The new one is 300, so it's not as harsh. But we still need to remove legends. So what we've been doing for this content is to be able to run as many legends as possible. We're putting 1 cost units. Like if you put this Sparta, for example, this drops the cost a lot. But this is still too much since we only have 6+ legends here basically. So still too much. But now with 1 cost unit we have a lot more options. Maybe we can do like a 30 cost rare recruit, for example. And you see, with that, we're able to fit into the cost restriction. We were able to put a very low cost buggy. We put a 1 cost unit and a rare recruit. Then we could run 2 6+ legend and a normal legend. So that's just one way we've been doing it for this one. But this is like one of the easiest Grand Voyage. We literally have a free-to-play team for this Grand Voyage. This is the only Grand Voyage we have a free-to-play team for. I'm not sure if you've seen it. If you haven't, let me link it to you. It's one of my big achievements from last year, basically. Let me find it. Grand Voyage free-to-play. Not as high as I was hoping in the results. It's actually hella low. That's very disappointing. Maybe I was using some bad tag. Maybe I should write free-to-play team. Wow. I'm shocked I can't find it. Luffy. There it is. Why was this so hard to find? Okay, let me link it for those interested. It's worth the watch. Maybe we can make a new free-to-play team for this now. So yeah, that link is for my free-to-play team versus this Grand Voyage, the first Luffy. It does use Legend Kaido versus Kaido as friend captain, but that's fair game. It is kind of weird the fact that we're getting this Grand Voyage revealed the same day as the Cross Guild Legend, and both have some cost element to them. Both are quick, but they're not viable with each other. Like, it's a big coincidence. Not really sure what to think about that. I'm keen to just say it's a coincidence. It's a very weird coincidence, but it probably is a coincidence. Yeah, level 5 Grand Voyage is in many cases absurd. Some of them are fine. But I will say, what I always say, that you have to try and enjoy it where it's possible. Like, yes, I've been able to beat every Grand Voyage at level 5. But there are Grand Voyage where I've not been able to build a new fun team against level 5. And that could ruin the Grand Voyage for me, because I don't think it's fun to try and find the team Bandai made, and it's hard to even find that team. and then say like GG, I beat it. For me, that's not fun. The fun thing is when I do my own take on it, beat it in an unintended way in some way. That's what's fun. And sometimes you can't do that versus level 5, maybe not, at least not right away. Like we can take Grand Voyage Arlong, which is a big example. There's only 3 teams so far. OG team, we have the Subconscious variant team with Carrot Wanda. That does look like a verse variant, but it is a variant. And like every new team counts when it's this hard content. And then we have the team I helped make with Forest that uses Katakuri and Aven. Let me link it, because if you've never seen Katakuri and Aven used, this is the only team you should look to justify where they exist. Aven Grand Voyage Arlong. Let's see if I find it. It's by Forest. There it is. 5,000 views. Very nice. But yeah, I actually helped Forest build that, so he should get most credit, but a little credit for me. I figured out the final strats needed to beat it. But yeah, this is definitely one of the coolest Grand Voyage teams you'll see against. Let's see, Arlong 3, Arlong, level 5 with Kata on. It's super cool. But yeah, like Katakuri, like Grand Voyage for me is one of the most important content, because we have these big walls that are like big milestones, and we can always try as a team builder community to try and figure out new stuff. And the fun thing with a lot of these, not all of them, like I'll probably make a video sometime about like the different difficulties of this. Let's go through all of them. But like local sea monster on release, basically impossible. One team work, then you need a max investment, maybe even max cotton candy. Now it's a joke. It's literally one of the easiest Grand Voyages now. It's actually insane. Yeah, Grand Voyage rewards are very bad, but I don't really care. It's not about the rewards for me, but they are pretty bad. Then we have Alwida. It was originally the easiest, but a lot of people actually struggle with this due to all of the resilience final stage, and it's kind of forced to do manual swaps. So it would be cool if we had some way to ignore that in the future. Shellstown was pretty hard on debut, but now it's also a joke, especially since Sorosandi debuted. Like, this content is absurdly easy now. Orange Town, Buggy. This one is still not easy, and a long time you had to have Sabo Ace for it. Now there's a bit more options, but this is still far from a free Grand Voyage. So it's still fun to come up with new stuff for this, to push the boundaries. So basically these Grand Voyages get like extra missions that are not part of it. Like the missions here, for example, is to make it more accessible. It's to make it so you don't need a lot of investment in stats, not have a lot of limited units. Like we have stuff now like Momo and Hiyori, the new ones that can be used, and soon most people will have them. So it's good to try and make options with them. Like this Law is really good for this Grand Voyage too, since he's also someone that most people will pull a lot of. They will have access to his super tandem, stuff like that. And yeah, this Luffy is also free, and was always very easy. Sir Village, Kuro. This one is the Grand Voyage I've played the least in recent year. I don't think I touched this in 2023, and not so far 2024. I'm waiting for new Dex shooters. Like, let's take a look here at Dex and shooter. Like, do I have to explain anything else? Like, when did these legends release? Yes, everything before 2023. So basically the most exciting thing that happened to this is like Some of them are getting level limit break. That's maybe something I could look into. Like, I think Ace had level limit break when I did this. Don't think Sabo had it though. Maybe that could make a difference. I know you made one team with this Sabo as captain, so that could be interesting. Otherwise, it's stuff like maybe this Kizaru. We've been talking about maybe he's going to get a 6+ soon, since he's still not 20 cost in PvP. That could also be a game changer. But yeah, this content is also very weird. It's easy if you have the limited good units, otherwise it's pretty rough. Like, the best teams basically use this Sabo Ace and Yamato Ace as captains. So no matter how you slice it, we're talking at least one limited legend on the team. If we go back here. Baratie. Krieg. And yeah, there's still a lot of development happening here before this Sanji is required. We've actually made a team without this Sanji, and I could actually do it today if I wanted to. I could get this done without this Sanji on the team, and that would be a huge achievement. It's just that I don't want to invest in that ship yet. I need the Zoro ship maxed out. And I want that ship too, but it's not just the highest priority. We'll see in the future. Maybe the upcoming Grand Voyage forces me to get the Zoro ship. I wouldn't be upset then, for sure. So yeah, still a lot to do here. Have they really made this with him? I don't think I've seen an Albert team for this. I haven't even thought about him being usable. Maybe I'll look at that in future. These are my most hated Grand Voyage because I can't tell the difference. I don't remember what is Mihawk, what is Zoro. I have this vague idea that I know that we have this one where there's recovery bind. It's very hard to heal. They want you to be 100% HP. Super dumb Grand Voyage. And then we have the other one where it is a more lenient, but we still have all the problem with chain and stuff. So I always mix them out. Right now I remember because I just did a Mihawk team with S-Hawk. But yeah, I feel like these are in okay places too. Will definitely be format. They actually get new units more regularly, so we actually make new teams for them. But there's still more we can do, I feel like. What's to say about Arlong? We just need new units. Katakuri Oven, like, it's a miracle that we were able to make a new team with Katakuri Oven, considering how absolutely trash they are. What we really need for this content is a 6+. If we go Dex Cerebral instead. What we need here is 6+ V2 V Rebecca. They need to make it so 6+ V2 V Rebecca does a 3-turn ore boost, 3-turn attack boost, and then this content is chill. That's basically all we need. But yeah, basically this is one of those contents like I remember when we got the 6+ law, people were like, yes, finally we're going to be making more teams for Arlong, and I'm like how? What does he help with? Like, people say, yeah, look at this super type, he can help with the paralysis attack down, but it's like, what about the other paralysis? Like, there's 8 turns paralysis, like, what are we doing about that? Like, there's so many absurd things to this content, so it's very hard for any one new unit, like, even if they have a lot of damage potential and such, like, the utility is such a hurdle for this. Like, the most absurd thing, like, I'll never forget playing Grand Voyage Arlong, and I literally spent 30 minutes trying to beat stage 1. Like, I feel like that says something about a content when you're like, how the F am I supposed to beat stage 1? Like, that was such a wall to me. Like, once I broke through stage 1, I was able to come up with a team that made us to stage 5. That was actually a really cool team I made in the first few hours. I was like, yeah, I'm on the right track. And then I get to stage 5, and there's a ton of debuffs I can't handle. I use a special, and they're like, oh, you can't use that special. That's interrupted. And I'm like, okay. Yeah. That was rough. I still got one of the first clears of Arlong, but it was a JP player who came up with the team. Moving on, Luffy 2. And as Jefferson said here, we're getting a 6+ Arlong, which is confirmed now, and that's huge. And let me explain why 6+ Arlong is huge here. It's because you have to use an Arlong, and then you're like, do you have to use Arlong crew? But let's take a look at every single powerhouse Arlong. Like, my main issue here is not the fact that Arlong crew is the only legend. My issue here is that Arlong crew is the only strength unit. That's so restrictive. A lot of the best units for this Grand Voyage are strength, and Arlong crew already hogs up a space, and we need one of every color. So the fun thing is that one thing that Nitro Sage did, he's like, I need Arlong, I want, what can it be, like this Luffy, I want Kaido, and it's like, fuck. Like, I need int unit, I need a quick unit, X unit, Psi unit. It's not gonna work. But then he was like, okay, I can just do ulti page 1, and I got 2 in 1. And he literally made a team like this. This is up on his YouTube. So yeah, there's a lot of strength because we're forced to run an Arlong. But at least Arlong can be good now. Like, Arlong Captain was intended. Now I'm saying we're getting a 6+ Arlong. The next Super PvP is Arlong. So Arlong will be getting a 6+ this month. So that's really cool. So Arlong is good as captain because you have the very obscure mechanic that when you leave stage 3, you get confused. The confusion mechanic, not sure what the better term is. And the only way to remove that is to take damage. And Arlong as captain takes damage. The bad thing is that he's such an outdated captain. You lose so much damage with Arlong. Like, just look at Hachan and the gang. They're just 3.25 times attack. This is insanely bad in 2024. Even in duo form, 4.25 times attack. Super low. Like, this is going to be a lot better now. Like, even these guys, like, I presume they're going to be at least 4.25 times, maybe 4.5 times. And that's going to make it so much easier to build a team. You can just put Arlong as captain, and you handle that dumb confusion mechanic for free. So that's going to help team building so much for this content. Speaking of Arlong crew, or this Grand Voyage, one strat we've used for some teams early on is Blackbeard with the support. That gives you an attack boost. This one. And yeah, this is pretty cool also for the new Crocodile and Miyake and Buggy, the Cross Guild legend, because you can use this to apply the spear to yourself. So basically, if you use the Cross Guild legend and put this support on, you have a free CD reduction support, because the spear applied to yourself will be turned into -2 CD. So that's a fun little mini thing. Main issue is that you have to be captain when using this special. This support is so weird. You have to be captain and do damage, and you give the spear. Like, the reason this does the spear is because, of course, Blackbeard and Whitebeard versus both benefit from the spear. They have the same mechanic as Cross Guild. Like here, Blackbeard changes all the spear to the increased chain multiplier boost, while for Cross Guild is the CD reduction thing. Cross Guild Legend seems meh. Yeah, I'll agree. I'm very disappointed in Cross Guild Legend. When thinking about it more, I do rate them higher as a PvP legend. We can talk about them in PvP in a bit. Let's just finish the Grand Voyage journey here. But yeah, they are a bit too much work for what they are worth. I'll have fun using them, I'm sure. But yeah, I guess they'll mostly be a PvP unit. Anyway, let's continue on the Grand Voyage here. We're going up to Logtown, the most recent ones, Smoker. And Smoker, we actually had a lot of teams. A lot of it is thanks to Forest. But we've also had some teams that don't think I've had a lot of recognition, like the German free-to-play player Akainu made a great team that he hadn't uploaded, but I used it in a stream. So let me link that stream if you're interested. Let's see. Chauzu stream Grand Voyage, probably. I've done a few Grand Voyage streams. Let's see if I can find it. This is a very old. Maybe I have to go to my playlist. I usually don't go to my playlists. Wow, my short with the Cross Guild special has tons of views. Pretty surprised. Let's see, playlists. Oh yeah, have to go here. It's my first live stream, so go to the bottom here. There we are. Let me link this for those who are interested. It's a very cool team. It uses V3 Jimbei against level 5 Smoker, and it uses Summer Khalifa. Like, I feel like it's insane that Khalifa has beaten one of the harder Grand Voyages. I'm talking about this one. Yep, this Khalifa has beaten a level 5 hard Grand Voyage. Like, for me, that's just insane. Let me link it. So yeah, this team was made by Kainu, but he never uploaded it, so I tried it out on stream and got a clear. So feel free to check it out, it's a cool team. Let me see some of the comments here I missed. Abyssal thinks Cross Guild are better as a sub than as a captain. I'm trying to think if I have an opinion on that. I might have later today. I've kind of dropped Cross Guild from my mind. But I do plan to make a Cross Guild deep dive today. It won't go up today, but I'll record it today since after today I'm super busy for the rest of the week. Tomorrow, except for work, only Grand Voyage. And Friday to Sunday, except for work and sleep, only PvP. That's just how it is. Yeah, I made a team with Saikami versus level 4. That's also a team I like a lot. Let me link it. That team was very fun. And that's what I mean about Grand Voyage, that even if level 5 is too much, or level 4 or level 3, making that level 2 team that works, that also feels really good. Even if it might not be optimal, like I know a lot of people say, like, you shouldn't play Grand Voyage until you can do level 5. Which is technically correct, but where's the fun in that? There's nothing fun with that. Correct, but where's the... Oops. Grand Voyage, Luffy 3, level 4. Isn't it Luffy 3? No, it's Smoker. I'm dumb. Luffy 3 is the newest one. There it is. Nobuo versus level 4. Only 2,000 views. I'm sad. This team was so good. I liked it a lot. Yeah, let me post it. I really like this team. That's the level 4 team. Yeah, it's a shame that Givi costs stamina. I agree there. How is VC ranking calculated? Jefferson asks. Well, basically, I should probably make a video about this later, but basically, for Pyro Rumble, they will take all of our in-game points on Global and all of the JP in-game points and put them into our teams. We basically have a team ranking we compete for. So Global has their own ranking in-game, JP has their own ranking in-game, but on the leaderboards, they pick out those who are on the same team, put them on their own ranking, so we compete for each other. So and then it's going to be really easy. We get the same points that we've earned, so it's not going to be exactly the same because the points on the leaderboard will only be points that we get from winning. It won't include defenses, so the points on the website will be lower than what they are in-game. So it will be a bit different, but mostly the same. And then they just give you the placements after what you actually achieved. So yeah, it's going to be interesting in PvP to see... what do I say? Like, Global usually have an advantage in PvP because we have easier defenses in general, while JP has the big advantage with much lower loading times, but much harder defense teams. So I'm hoping the Global Unity comes together to just spam runs and put easy defense. Like, I always have easy defense teams, so we'll see if other people join me. Cross Guild will be anniversary. I'm saying that without even double checking, but it's pretty obvious. But yeah, as for Grand Voyage, Luffy, and this one, I have some fond memories of this because this is the first Grand Voyage where I was able to be the first one to make a non-intended team. So I didn't make the first team, but we only had one team for a long time. But then Roger Oden released, and I was able to make the first team with Roger Oden. And we even got a good variant using the level 12 Tesoro ship. And then Forest made a variant with 2 Roden captains, which was also really good. And I don't think we have any more teams for this Grand Voyage yet. But I'm sure there will be more in the future. I have had a lot of fun with this Grand Voyage. It's very fun at lower levels as well when you can stall. And Smoker has mostly been saved by the fact that Gear 5 Luffy is so OP. Like, you have to rely on Resilient Socket, sure, but it's all about making the new teams. Yeah, Cross Guild is a lot of first. It's the first EX and Legend. It's the first Rush and Legend. They're breaking a lot of first. They're also the first big disappointment of this celebration. Yeah, I don't know what to say. But yeah, and now we're getting packed into the Grand Line and Grand Voyage Vivi. But yeah, let's talk a bit about PvP and Cross Guild. I do think they will be good on quick driven, But the question is, how do we build it? And I think it's going to be so easy that... Or not easy, but like... We have to decide what legend do we drop? And that's not an easy question to answer. Like, who do we drop out of these? Like, we can't... You'd think like, yeah, drop Orochi. But Orochi is just 20 cost, that's why I have him. So... We can drop Sugar, or Tesoro, or Akainu, or Kaido, but do we want to drop them? Like, do we want to drop Sugar versus Strength? Let's double check what Sugar does. Quick teammate HP up. Special CT down for Strength level 9, and CT up level 7. Like, that's an insane ability. Special sucks, but it's also not awful. Like, the attack down and the HP from her ability is very good for tanking Luffy specials. And it's near guaranteed. Like, it's not guaranteed, you only hit 4. But it's very good chance to hitting Luffy with that. And speed down also helps. And the ADF down helps. Like, Sugar is very boring, but I don't see her being dropped versus Strength. Yeah, I really dislike Sugar, but I don't feel like we can drop her. And yeah, I'm mainly talking about versus Strength now. I don't really feel like there's any reason to use Quick Driven outside of Strength. And then it's like, can we drop Tesoro? That's actually a pretty underwhelming ability, not gonna lie. But it's the special that people like. Honestly, I think we're dropping this like... Yeah, I think it's the Zoro we're dropping. I don't think we're going to drop anything else. Because Kaido is so good now. I might use him as lead. I have him on bench here, but I might move him back to lead. But Kaido is so good now. So yeah, I'm leaning towards dropping Tesoro, to be honest. And he's also very nice as lead. Like, the way I'm imagining things is... We bring back Kaido here. We're dropping Orochi because if he's not a lead, he's not worth using. So we're bringing back my hated Kanjuro. Really dislike him. Most overrated unit of all time, almost. But he's what we have. And then we're replacing Tesoro with the Cross Guild legend. Yeah, this is close Cross Guild. Why no Smoothie? Well, Smoothie is good, but then you run a quick slasher team, which is also pretty viable. But the Cross Guild legend doesn't really help slashers. They are slashers, you can use them, but they don't really help them. They are driven focus, so you're basically pushed into this. But it's pretty cool, like you are a bit slower without the Zoro, just a bit. But still more than fast enough thanks to Sugar and Shiryu and Cross Guild Legend also having special CT. But not only that, you add another unit to F over Strength. Like we already have Sugar, tons of debuffs. Kaido, potential special bind. Shiryu, potential special bind. And now we have Cross Guild Legends also reduce CT by 30% to make them even slower. So yeah, I'm pretty much a fan. And then they do a lot of extra stats as well. See, I think this is the way to go. Then we have the issue of stats. Like, for me at least, the Zoro level 150 Limit Break expansion. Cross Guild. Like, I'm probably not going to be rainbowing them on debut Tsugo. So they're going to be a lot weaker that way. So we'll have to see if it's worth it or if they will have to wait. The problem with those kind of units is that if you get them to max right away, they will be really good. But it also feels like a legend that in 6 months, 9 months, 1 year, won't be that viable in PvP anymore. Just how I feel. Yeah, that's gonna be Cross Guild later, I presume. I still don't think replacing Akainu is a good thing. Like, his ability is pretty bad still, but his special is still too good versus strength. At least I feel like it. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like dropping Akainu is not an option still. At least we're talking versus strength, really. He's really good for that. I have a hard time imagining using Quick Driven without Akainu versus strength. It's pretty funny, he has aged pretty well. So yeah, that's what I think about that. Let's get back to finishing the level 1 team, and then I'm going to grab something to eat. Okay. Let's see, so we're doing this combo with Luffy and Bonnie. What more do I need to cover? Let's see. Final stage. Gordon handles everything. Stage 4, Sanji handles the Death Up with the Nami support. And he handles the Threshold. And he handles the Orbs. The only thing left is the Bind, which is 9 turns and crewmates. I don't think Bonnie removes Bind. Would have been perfect if she did. Sadly, she removes Slot Bind. What can you do? Is there any other unit who works like that? Well, you have to work like that and remove Bind. But we have options, of course. But like, it depends, like, what else do we need to handle? It's pretty hard to say about the early stages. Like stage 1, I think I can just use Bonnie's super to change all orbs to recovery. So I can basically just use some units to remove Bind. It would be helpful if these could help remove Bind, but I don't think they can. And I presume Gordon can't. Nope. So yeah, you'd put a Luffy here, I guess. I don't think we have a sailor to remove Bind. Or do we? Like, if we look at Treasure Map Luffy, I think it was something else he removed as a sailor. And by Treasure Map Luffy, I mean the free-to-play one, of course. Should be higher up. Am I blind? Oh, there is. Yeah, it's attack down. I figured it was something like that. We just don't have that many tree reducing bind support. Bye, Abyssal. Thanks for joining us. Do we have an anal fighter? Because he does have one. Nope. Like, it doesn't have to be fighter. It's just that they get CD reduction. What Luffy will be good though? I will probably have to test them a bit. I guess we just do the free-to-play one for now. With Ace. And can we find any anal? Like, I can also use a bind reducing ship. I'll just do that, I think. Bind reducing ship, and that opens up a lot more options. Like, most people should have a bind reducing ship by now, I imagine. Either the Mary, or Thousand Sunny, or Tesoro ship. There's a lot of good bind reducing ships. So I imagine most people have one by now. And then, is there anything else I need to handle? Special Reverse is handled by the Luffy super type. I imagine that if we get Recover Bind, we got it covered. This one probably removes it. Nope. I imagine Bonnie does at least. Okay, no. Sunny. Okay, maybe we don't. Surely this Luffy. What the... Okay, I took it for granted. Okay, so we need to remove Recover Bind. And we might need a Luffy that does it as well. Potential ability. Status effect immunity. Recover Bind resistance. Just 10 turns, but... we also need to remove the bind. What do we have for that? Chopper Law is just not that accessible. This was harder than expected. I don't think the Katakuri has a good one. Nope. And I don't think the Marco has a good one. It's just one turn. I want 2 turns. How much does Luffy Law remove? 7. 10 will have been what I wanted. And I think that's the last one, so we just have to put Luffy Law here. What else can we do? Start with the next one. We have the ace, there we go. So now we just need to remove 3 more. Do I have to remove it? Well, we take damage there. It's a shame that we still have it on stage 4 later. I know I can take the Big Mom, but she's just not the most accessible. I don't think Robin has any good ones. It's just Chauzu is 1 turn too little. What's the main color class gimmicks for this Grand Voyage? Quick, fighter, and you need to have 300 cost or below. I'm dumb. I'm looking at quick fighter. I don't need to do quick fighter for this. I can do any color. Okay, this is a lot easier. What do we pick then? Now we have almost endless options. Just want something that's fairly accessible. So maybe something like a chopper will be nice. Cost does not include support. So something like this will be fine. And we do cat support here. I'm going to try this. I'll start with this tomorrow and we'll see how it works out. And as said, this is a level 1 team. This is not supposed to be something special, but I think this is a fun starting point. And yeah, the cost here is 3 legends, so 55 each. Then 2 rare recruits, 30 cost each, and then a 6 plus, so that's 65 cost. I think that's around exactly 300. But it basically means that we're always forced to use at least 2 rare recruits for this content. One interesting thing for the future is is there any one cost quick fighter? Can be useful in the future if you want to run an extra legend potentially. Okay, remove that. We got a few ones actually. That's very useful. Is any of them even usable? What does Robin do? Damage reduction could be nice for this content actually. This special is actually not awful. Like damage reduction and healing could see potential use. Carrots. That's bad. Tama. That's bad. Bullets BFF. Nah, that's not useful either. And another one cost Robin. Maybe. Yeah, that's true. Sokka. We had a few using unevolved rare recruits. So that could be a thing. It's just that we have less unevolved rare recruits now. So the 2 rare recruits on this team, for example, there's no unevolved of them. But something to keep in mind, depending on what's actually viable. Like, by the looks of it for me, they will want this Sanji to be used, which is extremely funny. Shielding West in him a bit. I feel very confident that this Sanji will be required. His kit is just perfect. And as said, we can't forget that we have these boys as well. Sure, it's a Sanji, but could also be used as Frank Captain potentially. Zoro Sanji, like it would be cool if we could make something with them as well in the future, but we'll see eventually. Okay, let's make him look a bit better. Let's see how much level limerick materials I have. That breaks my heart to see. So low. I don't think I bought the new ones though. Birth. 5 free games. I take it. Then we have these ones. Let's just start with that. I look at the others later. We don't have to overdo it in the beginning. Let's just get into 120 so you have some decent stats. But I'll get him to 150 if they really want us to have that investment. And once again, I will point out that I too need to start farming materials. It stresses me out immensely. But I just hope I survive to summer, and then in summer I can really farm hard. That was my plan last summer. I ended up getting lazy, but this summer I can't afford that. I need to commit to farming. And I can even like stream and farm potentially.